How's it going, everyone? So my name's Jack. I am the founder of WAK-O. I'm a streetwear clothing brand that tries to implement as many sustainable practices into my business as possible. So the main question that I get asked when I say I'm a streetwear clothing brand is, what is streetwear? So streetwear is everyday clothing that can be worn on any occasion. It's as easy as that. Basically, what my brand is about, I'm a circular streetwear clothing brand. As I said before, I try and implement as many sustainable practices into the business as possible. There is three key aspects to my brand: is sustainability, longevity, and circular. And I'll go into each of those points. So with sustainability, I want to just try and make as little of like a carbon footprint or decrease the carbon footprint within my business by reducing, reusing and recycling. So we really keep track of our waste management. So anywhere within the business that can be done recycling, whether that's reusing old packaging, just taking weekly runs to the recycling, just to make sure that there is as little waste as possible. Also, with all the offcuts from all the products, I'm currently keeping those and either making them into new products, or I will then donate them. Say, for instance, the people who are maybe making cushions and want to stuff the cushions, making kids' toys, want to use them as stuffing. Anyone else knows any other ways that they could suggest that for me, I'm open to ideas. With the business as well, it's not just my own brand, so it's not just creating new products. I currently resell vintage clothing. So I'll buy old clothing, wash it, repair it, and then sell it on to give it a new lease of life. There's the upcycling as well, which is the jackets that I'm currently wearing and the jackets on display there. So they've just taken old materials and just making something new out of it. With the brand, it's not just going to be creating new products or upcycling. There will be a range that I will get manufactured. My first collection will be made out of dead stock material, which I'll move into a bit further on. And obviously with the new products coming in, for instance, I do my own t-shirts, I print my own t-shirts. So instead of having an overstock in product, what I'll actually do is I'll order only blank t-shirts and I'll do the prints myself, so they'll be made to order. So instead of me ordering, say, 50 of one t-shirt and it doesn't sell and I'm stuck with an overstock, I'll only have black and white t-shirts, which means if a certain t-shirt doesn't sell, I can just change the print and do something new so that there's no overstock left there. The longevity side of the business is I want to create a legacy. I want my products to be here long after I'm gone. Like, something that I would love to have happen is for generations of my family to go into a vintage shop and see some of my products there to be resold. I always use the most high-end possible products, materials. My inks that I use for my screen printing are very, very high-end, and basically, you know, something with these products, as I said, 10 years down the line, I want them to be in the best possible condition. So use of high-end materials, inks, everything like that is really, really important to the brand. And we're also a circular brand as well, so I'll get more into that. So the circular side of the brand is basically, because these products are built to last, when a customer buys a product off us, either a year, 2 years, 10 years down the line, what they can do is they can actually trade in that product and then get a discount off a new product, and then the old one will be resold at a discounted price. This then avoids any of the products becoming waste material, going to landfill, being burnt, anything like that, so that they are always going to be in circulation. Okay, so I have a couple of the jackets on show here today as well that I have made. So this jacket that I'm currently wearing is made out of dead stock material. That has come from Kane, so shout out to Hannah for that. Yeah, so basically, everything that went into it, apart from the zips, is one thing that I'm struggling to find dead stock because I've needed the matching zips. So if anyone knows anywhere I can get like dead stock or secondhand zips, anything like that, that'd be highly appreciated. But even the writing across the front is done in a faux leather that was like a dead stock material that was left over from a project that was done in Belfast Met. So the whole jacket, as I said, apart from the hardware, is made of dead stock material. The second jacket there is the denim. So the denim jacket has been an upcycled project of mine. So I've taken 2 pairs of old vintage Carhartt jeans that were pretty beat up in different ways. It probably wouldn't have been worn again. Basically, I've just deconstructed the pairs of trousers and remade them into a one-of-one jacket. Yeah, and the last then is the green jacket, which is again an upcycle project. So I do a lot of charity shopping with me buying and selling vintage clothes. But I then came across a pair of curtains that I just thought looked completely mental, and I really thought that would look really cool in a runway. Really stands out. Basically bought the pair of curtains for £8. So when I'm prototyping all of my products, I prototype everything by hand. And instead of me going out and buying the material that I think I want at a higher price, I then prototype the products out of cheaper materials. As I said, it's also sustainable, it's upcycled as well. Even the inside of the jacket, the lining, is the lining of the curtains as well. And yeah, basically, as I said, it just makes it cheaper, more sustainable for me to upcycle in that way. And it means then if I get the design wrong, I'm not spending a fortune on new materials as well. That is like my upcycled range. So these are my one-of-one handmade pieces. Now, for me to actually be able to run a business, it's going to be impossible for me to hand make every single item. It wouldn't work. So I am currently speaking with a manufacturer in Italy about making my jackets. So it's a company called Arnea Textiles, that basically they are a zero waste textile manufacturer. So once the products are made, the offcuts of the fabric, they actually shred them and make them into bricks. Don't ask me what they're building with them. I have no idea how that process works or anything. I am going to be visiting the manufacturer very soon once my prototype's ready. So I'll find out a lot about that then. The materials that the jackets will be made out of also have come from Kane. So the outer of the jacket, I don't know if I should be giving all this away. Sorry, I've put you in there. But yeah, the outer of the jacket is from Kane. Then I buy my dead stock materials from a place called Nona Source in Paris. What they do is they reach out to all the major designer brands, and when they're finished with the collection and there's dead stock material that's left over, then basically they buy it off them, and then I'll buy it off Nona Source. So these are fabrics that may well have went to landfill or to be burnt, however they dispose of it. Whereas basically we're taking something that's not being used and making it into something new. As I said as well before, I do try and avoid overstock, so this will be a small release. I wish I did have more of the material, but I have enough for 25 jackets. Just making it more exclusive, and as I said, just avoiding any waste material and any leftover overstock. So that's really everything that I have about the brand. There is a lot more sort of on the way. As I said, we do resell vintage as well. So basically just anything that we can do to avoid clothes becoming waste product. Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect.